Oh, you're going to love the letters tonight, and you're also going to love all the panellists who we have for you. A couple of regulars. John Hammond is here, yes. Legal Eagle is on the panel together with Louanne, who's going to sit right there. You know, our millionaire matchmaker who matchmakes for everybody. She's in. We've got a couple of newbies too, Phil and Michelle, who you haven't met before, and they'll be addressing these letters tonight. 57 gender pronouns. Instead of he or him, Z, and 56 other of those things. What's all that about? I don't know, to be honest. We'll see if the panel does. Second letter tonight, you ever been camping? You ever been camping and you really didn't want to be there? Well, a poor wife, after 13 years of going camping with her husband and now her family really doesn't want to go. She just wants to go to Hong Kong. And the last letter tonight, DNA. You go and get your DNA tested now, and all of a sudden, knocking on your door, you've got a whole lot of potentially brothers, sisters, relatives that you've never known existed. And there they are on your front doorstep. All these letters, a great lot of panellists with these letters right now.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
All good. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Lovely to have your company. Gary Mitchell with you for the next terrific chat-filled half hour, and all my mates are here tonight. Couple you've not met before. First up, what am I allowed to call you? Hello, Phil.
How you going, Gary? Great to be here.
Good to have you here, mate. How many years have we been promising each other that you'd be on the show? And here you are.
This is episode 1830, and you've finally got around to it. So, thanks very much, Gary.
How's your beautiful wife, Faye?
She's very, very beautiful and very, very
She
nice.
is a very beautiful woman. Hello, Faye. Am I on screen? I am. Hello, my darling. She's the most beautiful woman on...
Yeah. Well, one of your countrymen said that when I married into your particular clan, that I was social climbing. So...
I bet you I know who that was too. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Hello, Louanne.
Hello, Gary.
You're much more than a millionaire matchmaker, aren't you?
I might be, yes.
You might be.
We're all much more than our title,
Yeah, it depends what day we ask, is that right? Nice to see you.
Yeah,
All
to
good?
see you. Yes, perfect.
Michelle, lovely to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
You've been keeping me in fits of laughter over the last 5 minutes, telling me about what you do for a living and how you do it. Are we allowed to discuss that on air? No,
Very
we won't.
serious job.
We won't. It's a very serious job. Needless to say, you're a legal eagle.
I try to fly.
Speaking of legal eagles, hello, Jono.
Hi, Gary.
You're not in Bali this week, mate. What's
no,
going
I'm not.
on?
Look, I'm a very happy man the last week or so because my team won the grand final.
Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know, my brother took a quinella in June, Eagles and Roosters. He collected.
Oh, wow.
He collected. Hello, Luke. Yes, still celebrating over there. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. Here we go. First letter for the evening. Hello, Mitch and panellists. That's all you guys. Phil goes, Seriously, 57 gender pronouns, Z, instead of he or she. Give me a break. Why do we tolerate a situation where we have to accept non-gender specific ideas, and what does it really mean? Are people who suggest they are non-gender specific asexual, non-sexual, neuters, or what? I like that, neuters. What are we creating here? I think I'm amongst the most tolerant people I know, and I encourage my friends and family to be respectful and tolerant of others too. Can't I expect that in return the majority of us will also be respected rather than have the politically correct brigade tell me and everyone to change the use of the English language because some people don't want to be either male or female? Unlike many, I have had one of my siblings transition from female to male, and he was certainly transgender until he identified fully as a man, and then it was easy. He was a he. He had a gender. He chose it for himself, and he was unambiguously a he. Are we in an age where we have so much first world indulgence that we play pointless mind games in the sexual political arena? While gender reassignment issues exist all over the world, This non-gender specific rubbish is purely confined to this wasteful current generation within the Western world. If I'm not missing anything, how do we stamp this rubbish out? Please, panellists. Anton of Templestowe in Victoria. Jono.
Well, I think it's a real pity that we're going down this path.
But what's the path? Tell me what the path is. I can't work out what's
we're going to take all these words out of our language. Founding fathers is just going to become founders. Mankind's going to become humankind.
What about this Z?
Z, I think that's ridiculous. I mean...
And 56 other gender pronouns. What's
mean,
that? How do you legislate language?
We're not Z's around this table here. We're he's or she's, and I can identify the he's here and the she's, but we're definitely not Z's.
Z's?
I think this has become silly, outrageous and dumb.
Why?
And I don't want to see the human language diluted to this extent.
You know, in Canada, I read up on this when we got it in. In Canada, they tried to legislate to make sure we were using gender neutral pronouns. And there's a university professor, Jordan Peterson, who said, no, you can lock me up. You're not going to legislate my language. But it's bizarre where we've come to. Mish, what do you make of this?
I think it's just ridiculous, plain and simple. We already have fluidity between genders on any day of any week at any major event. After 3 o'clock at any racing carnival, at a music festival, it doesn't matter if you're a he, a she or anything different, you use the available toilet. Doesn't matter what's on the sign. So if we start taking these things away for the regular hours of the regular weeks, where are people going to go to the toilet?
Where are people going to go to
There's
the
already
loo?
confusion when you have to read the labels in a different language. You're not sure if it's a picture with a dress on it now, or is it a dress-up person on the door? A lot of people are making mistakes about that. That's not their fault. It's not clear. It needs to be clear.
Lou, are we missing something?
Oh, man, get over it. Like, really, I've got to agree with John. That's saying something big for me. But truly, we're male and female, okay? And we're not something in between. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a human race, for crying out loud. If we were only one species and, you know, there was only one side of us that existed, we wouldn't be able to procreate. We are female and male, and we have these sex organs. You can have them removed and be a different gender, and then you will call yourself and transition from one to the next, and you will then call yourself a female, or you'll then call yourself a male, whichever way you go. But you're either one or the other. You're not neutral. There's, you know, and trying to fight how we were actually born, and not to say that you're a female and you're a male, like, really, come on.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
It's bizarre.
It's bizarre.
I don't
Phil,
understand.
last word on this?
Yeah, look, non-gender specificity, I'm not sure what it means. Like I said to a mate of mine who was vertically challenged, we played footy together, I said, you'll never be a ruckman and I'll never be a rover. And that's how nature works. And if you want to talk about equality, there's one statement that really works and applies to all men and women. It's that all men and women are cremated equally. That's all I've got to say.
I don't know if I'm missing something. I was trying to work out if there's another application, and maybe there is during job applications where you're trying to, you know, not identify yourself as male or female because there might be an inherent bias, but I couldn't think of any other situations. Unless, you know, for some reason you really don't want to identify as a male or a female. I can't work out why you'd want to do that. We asked you people at home this question on the, what do you call it, ether? Will the creation of 57 different gender-neutral labels mean that they will, at some stage, be in common use? And here's what you said. 38% of you thought that at some stage they would be in common use. 62% said no. Well, I got no idea. We'll ask this question again in 10 years and we'll see where it's gone. My feeling is it's not going to go anywhere, but I don't know. When we come back, we're going to go camping. Stay with us, Sweet and Sour. More after the break.
How's about some chili?
It's time for sweet and sour.
Ooh, we're going camping in this segment. If you'd like to send us a letter, send it to some of the media points you see on the screen right now. There we go. There's all our social media contact points. And there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's, you know, you've got no excuse. If you want to send us a letter, you can get it to us. And for everyone that we are going to discuss tonight, for every letter writer, we are going to send you to the movies, courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. We're sending you to Palace Cinemas to see any movie of your choice. And here we go. Not so glamping from Karina in North Ryde in New South Wales. Hi, Sweet and Sour. I'm not a high maintenance woman. Phil, you're on notice. I'm not a high maintenance woman. I never have been, but I really have had enough of enduring my husband's passion, camping. When we married, he made it sound all so romantic to be sleeping under the stars in Mother Nature's lounge room. Well, Mother Nature, I can tell you, is neither hospitable nor clean, and I just can't do it anymore. It's just traumatising. Yet, he insists that at some stage I'll learn to enjoy and completely relax. Well, in 13 years I haven't, but I have been bitten by bugs, chased by massive rats, had my face used as a landing bay by huge spiders that sent me screaming for an hour. I don't want to do it anymore. I just want to go on a normal holiday to Bali. Does that sound familiar, John?
Yeah, it does actually.
Or Hong Kong? Do you do Hong Kong?
Yeah, Hong Kong I do. I'll go anywhere.
Rather than back to the Daintree in northern Queensland. My kids love it, but I just can't do it again. He insists that if I don't come along, he can't take the 3 kids because he can't watch over them all to keep them safe. It's just blackmail because the kids love it. Please, panel, how do I ever take a normal holiday? Louanne, what do you say to Karina?
Okay, Karina, I don't like the way that your husband is using emotional manipulation to get you on holiday. I think that's really wrong, number one. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is having the ability to be able to communicate with your husband to get what you want and for him to get what he wants. If you go to a place like Bali, he can go camping. There's all sorts of adventure things he can do, and guess what? You can get hired help for like $1. So he can get somebody to come along and watch over the kids, so you don't have to do that, and then you can have your holiday. You just have to know how to pitch it to him. Something like, darling, I heard this really amazing camping space in Bali. I'd really like to experience that with you. So let's go there while you're there with the kids, with the hired help. I can actually be on my holiday, and we can meet and have a different taste of a holiday, and we can all have our needs fulfilled. So there's lots of strategies away.
Let's go to Bali and hire people for $1. That sounds good, doesn't it? John,
Totally.
does that sound good to you? Goodness me. Maybe not. Phil?
It's true.
Yeah, look, that's really good advice, Louanne. I'd just take a little slightly different tack. I'm not familiar with the concept of a high maintenance woman. And why would I be, Gary?
Hello, Faye.
Definitely not. She is definitely the opposite to that.
She's lovely.
Look, Karina, get him to find someone else to go with him, or alternatively, pay someone to go with him. That said...
For $1 in Bali.
that said, why don't you take his approach? A bit of blackmail on your side. For example, there's things like, the Royal Agricultural Show or Mickey Mouse and Ice Capades, those things. I hate going to those things, by the way. Ask if he wants to do that. If he says no, you just walk out of the room, grab a sleeping bag under one shoulder, tent under the other, walk past him. As he says where you're going, say, I'm off to the Good Sammy's to dump this stuff.
You don't want to come?
You don't want to come with me?
Oh, I see.
So,
reverse it. He doesn't want to
absolutely.
come. Oh, smart. Is that what you do to your wife?
No, I don't have to. She's
likes
got it
camping.
organised.
All right, Jono. Look, I totally sympathise with the writer of that letter because
Do you like camping?
No, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I much prefer room service, beautiful white sheets.
Camping under the 5 stars.
You know that breakfast is ready in the morning with a huge selection, but lying in a sleeping bag where your feet don't quite fit and your head's, parts of your body are exposed to the elements, bugs. Air guard, bad food. It's just not an experience I want to endure.
Oh, no, agreed. So what do you say to poor old Karina?
I say to Karina, tell your husband to go alone. I'll be booking into the Radisson or to the Hyatt.
I did like those pay rates. They had $1 in Bali for anyone. They'll do anything for that money. All right, Mish, last word to a woman. Do you like camping?
It doesn't matter what I like. Her kids like it, so she should suck it up and be a parent. It's
Suck
1
it up,
week.
your kids like it.
It's 1 week out of the year.
But she doesn't have to go, though.
No, she doesn't. So shut up about it. Make other choices. Do something
He's
else.
blackmailing her, though.
No, he's not.
Well, he can't take them if she doesn't go.
Rubbish. How old are these kids? Put a leash on them. They'll be fine.
We asked you people at home this question, fairly innocuous really. Should married couples take separate holidays? And here's what you said. Here we go. 56% said, the majority said yes.
Majority rules.
Okay, who here has taken separate holidays? Phil?
Yes, we do. That's part of the strength of our relationship.
Separate holidays? Always? Not
No,
necessarily?
not always, no.
Louanne?
Totally.
Always?
Not always.
Not
of
always,
course not.
just some?
Don't choose someone that doesn't have things in common, a little bit in common with you and a little bit opposite you.
A little, mix it up. Mish?
Yes, highly recommend. Holiday within a holiday.
Holiday within a always?
Pretty much, yes.
Always. Jono?
If it's a sporting event, definitely separately, because the men have different
Ways of expressing
If it's a
it.
shopping
behaviours
event,
that they like to indulge in. But if it's a holiday, then I want my partner there.
Okay, if it's a holiday. Whatever that is. Holiday. When we come back, we're going to be talking about DNA and who can track you down once you've had the tests done. Don't go away. Who's had theirs done? No?
Always the sour and the sweet. Keep sending in your crap letters.
You morons!
Right there with Gary.
I'm for sweet and sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Oh, no more coffee. That must mean this is the last segment. Here we go. Hello, Sweet and Sour. Straight into the last letter. DNA testing has made a mockery out of laws surrounding secrecy and even adoption. I recently had my DNA test to find out my origins. Well, I certainly got my money's worth and then some. Not only did it identify cousins and distant relations who had taken the DNA test, but it also revealed the existence of relations I didn't know existed. The DNA test revealed I had 2 siblings of which I was completely unaware, as was the rest of my family, except possibly for my dad, who passed on years ago. To be frank, it's shaken my family to the core, as it gives a family story that was utterly unfamiliar to us all. Even my dad's brothers had no idea. Further, my wife, who was adopted out when she was minuscule, has been contacted by her real siblings, even though she's not interested nor comfortable to meet them. She loves her mum and dad and has no interest to find other family, but it just landed on her doorstep uninvited. Is this the way of the world now? Everyone has access to everyone's personal family stories because DNA is totally unregulated. How can this be a good thing? It's caused nothing but trauma in my family, and it comes to us from Alec of Stirling in South Australia. Phil, first up on that.
Yes, Alec. Look, there are international guidelines on DNA, and testing and privacy, but unfortunately, not all companies follow those guidelines. So you've got to be wary what you get into because insurance companies may use it against you at some later stage. Look, there was a situation with one of my staff members many years ago, and we'd been in a rather select cards group for about 10 years, and he rocked up one day, and this is a true story, and he said, "Fellas, I've got some news to tell you. I've just found out I've been adopted." This is in his early 30s, and he found he was adopted. And
It's a late age to find out.
And so essentially, I sort of thought, how do I change so I said, "Look, mate, you better leave the room." And he says, "Why?" I says, "Well, we don't know who you are now." Right? So I moved out, and 2 or 3 of the other guys jumped in and said, "Get out of here till we're ready to." And so he came back. But the bottom line is this: we still loved and respected him for who he was and who he is. And I think there's a more important question. And you talked about your siblings. Are your new siblings better than the ones that you already got? Should be asking that question.
DNA is just fact, isn't it?
Okay.
Here it is.
Okay.
What difference does it make?
We use DNA, scientifically, medically, it's kind of part of progression. I'm sorry, but you went looking for something and didn't find what you wanted to find, but found something else out. If you go looking, you're going to find it. If you get your boyfriend's phone and you go looking, you're going to find whatever it is, or something a little bit more.
Ooh.
And as far as, if you don't want to know, don't go looking, number one. And number two, your wife finding out that she's adopted and she's got extra parents, I think that's an absolute blessing.
What a bonus.
What a bonus. You can love your adoptive parents really amazingly, but you have a big heart. You can open it up to as many people as you like. I say, what a blessing.
Yeah,
Be grateful.
The DNA tests are just giving you some facts. How you choose to cope with those and what you choose
And
to
if
do
you
with
can't cope with them,
up
you
to
know, stay out of the kitchen.
We asked you people at home to answer this question for us. Should DNA testing be regulated to prevent the bypassing of laws protecting adoption and other privacy issues? Here's what you said. Again, the majority said yes, they should be regulated, but there's a fairly sizable proportion that said nah, doesn't matter. It's just fact. All right, Mish, legal perspective here.
It's called a family tree, not a family trunk. So you get all the branches, you get all the leaves, and you get all the twigs, and you even get the bird feces. You get the whole lot when you have family, and it's what makes family, all of that.
All of that?
Moulding together makes family, otherwise we're just singles wandering around.
I must say, some family trees are
And
better
we're all
served
connected, you know?
being pruned.
I
And we
know.
are all connected, aren't we?
Yeah. The universe.
Phil agreed. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. If you don't
is what it is.
The same as what Lou said, if you don't want to know, don't ask the question. And if, as for
Applies to anything,
As
doesn't
for
it?
the wife, well, don't answer them. No one's forcing you to engage with them. No one's forcing you to open envelopes or emails or the phone. Don't engage.
Yeah, are you,
Make some
Are
choices.
you going to do your DNA test?
Never.
Never?
Never.
You don't want to know?
I don't need to know. I know who my family are. They're on the end of my phone.
I had a DNA test done and I've got all these relatives popping out from everywhere and it's absolutely fantastic and I love it. But there's the other thing as well that it serves, and that is it can now tell you how you react to coffee, how you react to this and that, and what you're predisposed to. Jono, last word on this one.
I think some things you'd rather not know. So, contrary to what Michelle's had to say and others around this table, I think we sometimes know too much. And if these people were really in your life or wanted to be in your life, they would have found a way rather than going through this process. So I would rather see it all just be left under wraps.
Under wraps. But the cat's out of the bag and there's no legislation to actually stop this DNA stuff now. So
I would like to see it regulated so that that doesn't happen.
can you put the genie back in the bottle?
I think you can for all of us going
all
forward.
of you
yeah.
who haven't had the test
Yeah,
done.
that's right. Yeah.
It's so cheap. And there's that curiosity factor too. There are so many people now doing it. Every second person I bump into says, oh yeah, I'm going to have my DNA test done. Are you curious?
No, I'm not curious.
Michelle's already told us she's not curious. She doesn't want to know. But are you curious?
No, paranoid.
You're not curious, you're paranoid.
I'm 50-50 on it.
50-50?
Yeah, I'm still, you know...
What would push you over to go and get it done?
Certainly not to find out medical stuff. But I'm not interested in that because I'd rather not know certain things. But just the history and where the origins and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, mine was fascinating. I loved it. And the nice thing about, well, I took mine on Ancestry, they update you. So as more and more information comes out, they keep telling you. It's terrific. Guess what? We've got to go. Nice to have you on the show tonight, sir.
Oh, very nice being here,
We'll
Gary.
see you again.
Thank you.
Hey, Lou. We'll see you again soon,
hope
too.
so. I hope
Terrific.
so.
Mish, did you enjoy yourself?
I did. Thank you for having
You
me.
want to come back?
I will.
Okay. I know someone else will be back soon.
Call me Z. I'm not a he, I'm not a she.
Thank all of our terrific panellists. Thank our terrific crew. And thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. Good night, everyone. This is where you wave, Phil. That's it. Not clap, wave. That's it. Michelle's got it. John knows. Luanne knows. Good night, everyone. See, is what?
now.
The Queen. Oh, you really need to have your DNA test done. You might be related. The what?
Just the way it goes.